Hello and welcome back to another episode. In this episode we're going to be covering keybinds. So first, in our init package, let's create a new class called keybinds init. Then let's create a public static key binding, and we need to make sure we import the net.minecraft.client.settings. Let's call it example key. Let's create a public static void register, and this is going to take a final FML client setup event. Then let's create a private static key binding create with string name and int key, and we're going to return a new key binding where we're going to return key dot, and then we're going to add our mod ID, and then once again we're going to add dot and then the name. Then we pass in the key, and then for the last bit we can pass in key dot category dot plus tutorial mod .mod ID. Now in our register function we need to create the example key, so let's do example key is equal to create, then we pass in the name, so in this case example underscore key, and then we can do key events, and now we can import java.awt.event, and then we can give it the default button, so in my case this is going to be vkg, which is the G key on the keyboard. Then we can add a semicolon, and now we're registering our example key. Now we need to add this to the client registry, so let's do client registry.register key binding example key. Now we need to call this register function, so we can do that by going in our client event bus subscriber, and at the top we can do keybind init.register and then pass in the event. So next let's create a new event class called input events, and then we can copy the event bus subscriber from the player events that we made last time, but this time we're going to do dist is equal to dist.client. However, instead of dist it's value. Now we need to create two events, a @subscribe event for when a key is pressed, so let's do public static void on key press, and then we can do input event, and we want to make sure to select the Minecraft one, dot key input event, and let's name this event. So first of all, let's get the Minecraft, so let's do Minecraft MC is equal to Minecraft.getInstance. Then we're going to check if mc.world is equal to null, and if it is, we're just going to return. And next we need to create a onInput function. Let's do a private static void onInput, and this is going to take a Minecraft MC, an int key, and an int action. So now under here we can call onInput with MC event.getKey and event.getAction. Now we can copy this on key press and paste it down here, and we're going to change this to on mouse click, and then all we have to do is change this to dot mouse input event and change the get key to dot get button. And now all we need to do is to fill out our input function, so let's check if our mc.current screen is equal to null, and if it isn't equal to null, we're just going to return, and we're going to check that the key is the keybind. So we're going to do keybinds init.example key.is pressed, and if both of those are true, that means our example key has been pressed. Right now I'm just going to do system.out.println, and we're going to say example key press. However, we need to remember that this is happening on the client, so if we want something to happen on the server, we're going to need to send a packet, something that I'll cover in the next episode. So now if we launch the game, now if we go to controls and scroll down, we can see our keybinds. However, we haven't set these values in our lang file, so we can go to main resources assets tutorial mod lang en_us.json, and then we can add our things. So in this case it's going to be key.category.tutorial mod, which is our mod ID, and we're going to change this to tutorial mod, and then I'm going to do key.tutorial mod.example key, which is going to be example key. So now if we go into a game and press F3 and T and go to controls, we can see that everything is named, and if we go ahead and press G, then you can see example key pressed, but if we go to our inventory and press G, then nothing happens. That's going to do it for this episode. If you need help, join the Discord, and I'll see you next time when I'm going to be covering packets.